Hello, fabulous friends, fans, and superstars. Welcome to your horoscope for the week of January 28, 2024. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a remarkable astrological week, without a doubt. Big moves happening in the sky now. Boy, is this a very special time. Well, we've got big energies this week. On the one hand, there are breakthroughs and adrenaline and insight that helps us to feel like we're accelerating our life forward, especially in the context of the fact that all major astrological planets are now direct. A powerful window of time that's going to take us right to the very beginning of April. When all major planets are direct, it's like all systems go. All of us are going to be feeling this sense of momentum and excitement. Beautiful in and of itself. However, we have another energy kind of layered on top of it that is so fortunate now. It tells me that along with changes and breakthroughs and excitement, we're also going to find ourselves moving towards more of what it is we really want and whatever it is that we consider love and lush. So that could be enjoyment, pleasure, prosperity, and yes, easier connections with other people, new or those with whom we already have long established ties. So I'm actually going to start there because we have this powerful configuration right now. And it is Venus, Saturn, and Jupiter. They are the key players. And right now, we've sort of got this free floating, harmonious connection between Jupiter and Saturn. They're remaining within orb of that harmonious connection that in many ways is going to come to define Jupiter in the sign of Taurus for this year of every 12 years that Jupiter moves through this sign. And so they've got that harmonious energy, and then here comes Venus activating it with harmony as well. And you can see here all of these energies speak to feeling that sense of possibility and growth and ease and connection. Connection to heart, connection to ourselves, connection to insight. However, it's not just that Venus is speaking with these planets, but they are also moving with a connection on another level as well. So you're going to have to stay with me. If you are not a student of astrology, be patient. I'm going to just go through this super, super quick just to explain the astrology to you and how special it actually is. So Venus right now is in the sign that is ruled by Saturn. And Saturn right now is in the sign that Venus most loves to be in, which is the sign of Pisces. And then you add to that Jupiter right now. And Jupiter is in Venus's home sign, but is also ancient ruling planet of Pisces, where Saturn is. Okay, that's the technical stuff to say. There are several layers of an interchange of energy playing out here that speaks to how important this vibration, and especially the larger vibration, ends up being for us at this time. Venus right now in an earth sign, Capricorn, can bring a certain sultry quality to her, an embodied quality, which is a big part of the experience of love for a lot of people. However, this is also the sign of respect and of ambition. And a guiding question right now for a lot of people out there is going to be, when you look at love, is there respect here? When you look at whom it is that is going to get your love, does it feel as if they've earned it? Now, I know innately, of course, all of us are worthy of love, especially universal love. And I think that part of that pathway to love is about also wanting greater peace. That can be the hardest thing sometimes to go for, especially when we're not accustomed to peace. It can feel hollow and vapid. But then we have moments like this one where we have this window that is grounded yet abundant. It is desiring the dream, the soulmate made real, whether that's soulmates in love or soulmates where it comes to all kinds of connections we might have with others. But at the same time, it has its eye towards what has been demonstrated, what is being shown, and how much of that are you going to believe now? And I think that these energies, although very stabilizing, they are also energies of transformation, of change. The energy of Pisces itself, where Saturn is now, is a part of the sky that has to do with healthy closures, closing karmic ties, ending karmic chapters, and connecting very deeply to a sense that there is so much more yet to do in this lifetime, even if you don't know what that is, even if you don't have all the details just yet. And that essentially is what faith is. It's that believing that great things can come about, great things can manifest, even if it doesn't look like we're necessarily on that clear path just yet. And so, whereas Pisces says surrender, have faith, Saturn is a principle of work, a principle of time, a principle of sacrifice. And sometimes certain hard lessons need to be learned in order to get to that place where we receive those karmic blessings, that they're able to flow that much more easier. And because Jupiter is here, the flow is especially strong. Because Venus and Jupiter both are in earth signs, they're able to focus on manifestation that much more. Now, here's another layer of understanding. Venus isn't necessarily considered at her best in the sign of Capricorn. We have Mars in the sign of Capricorn now, and here Mars is exalted, right? Mars is at his absolute best in this part of the sky, strategic, focused, ambition, successful as well. However, Venus is a different principle altogether. She's about laying back, relaxing, and knowing that she is worthy. And so Mars and Venus, especially mythologically, have often been set as counterparts to each other, sort of like opposite ends of a particular spectrum. And that spectrum is often conceptualized as having to do with attraction and desire and love itself, but it also has to do with how one moves through life, how one experiences life. We all have Venus in our chart. When we look at masculine and feminine as principles, not necessarily as embodied genders or gender identity, but as a principle, well, we have both masculine and feminine principles within each of us. This is something well explored and documented by Carl Jung when he talked about the animus inside women and the anima inside men. Of course, we've grown in our understanding of that as well. Thankfully, so more and more of us in more and more of the world are able to honor these different parts of ourselves as part of living a full, complex, rewarding life. Now, we all have a Venus in our chart. We all have a Mars in our chart. We all have a desire to be appreciated. We all have a desire to connect with a sense of allowing ease and validation and allowing a sense of appreciation. That isn't necessarily something we have to fight for, that we have to go out for. It's the inherent knowing of your worthiness. Mars, on the other hand, is about wanting to direct one's energy, what it is that you're willing to fight for and work for and put sweat into, and in the sign of Capricorn with an eye towards manifestation. I do think that with Venus in a sign that she's not necessarily in the easiest placement, put it there, I actually find this to be an interesting placement because it is planets that are that we would call debilitated, right? I know that's a heavy duty word, but if you remember, it was in the early part of last year in 2023, we had that watch party with Stephen Forrest's class. And that class was about planets and debility. And he spoke about this, what the good things are to consider when a planet is, as the ancients considered it, not well placed. And the amazing thing is that you work harder to own that energy. You work harder to amplify it within yourself and to bring it forward that much more. The energy of Capricorn ruled by Saturn. And as I said about putting in the time and sacrifice, well, that can only happen if you have the time, which is why Venus and Capricorn placements, and I would even say any placements in your chart that are in the sign of Capricorn, they represent parts of you that get better and better the older that you get. And with Venus here, it's very much about owning your unique beauty more and more the older that you get as well. And that can be its own type of liberation. And that might be a liberation that some of us are called to now, but it's not the kind of exciting liberation of Uranus. I'll talk about that in just a moment. As we're entering this weekend, certainly we've got all kinds of Uranian energy in the air. I did create a short video looking at Uranus direct for your sign. I'll be sure to link to that below here on my YouTube channel. As Saturn and Venus are both so close to each other in terms of their conversation, it's actually over the course of Sunday, early Sunday, when Venus connects with Saturn, and then late Sunday, or even stepping into Monday if you're not in the Americas, for example, or not in certain parts of Western Europe. Well, yeah, then you're dipping into Monday, but that's when Venus connects in supreme harmony with Jupiter. And all of that suggests we're starting this week with a sense of the possible, a sense of faith, yes, but knowing that it has to count for something. And it counts based on the evidence, what we see, and what we know. Now, even knowing can sometimes be something nebulous, but this is about examining what you want, what you have faith in, and where it is you're willing to back up that faith with action. There are some transits that speak to knowing you are inherently worthy. That is Venus in and of herself. However, it is Saturn in particular, and I would even say Earth energies as well, that say faith without works is dead. What that also means is making a choice, making a decision. We are coming on the heels of a very powerful, if not intense, full moon energy in the sign of Leo. And in some ways, we're carrying that energy into this week as well, along with that erratic Uranian energy. And here we have a moment to look at where we are in matters of heart and especially in matters of love. And if we don't like it, what work are we willing to do to change it? Now, sometimes that work is done in the context of a bond. Sometimes that work is within ourselves. And sometimes that work means going a whole other way. That also takes courage, but with that recent full moon in the sign of Leo, thankfully we are brimming with it, but it's not just the full moon in Leo. Courage comes with Mars, or it's indicated with Mars, I should say. It is Mars that speaks to bravery and focus, but also being connected to self-knowledge enough to know that you can trust yourself and you can act from that place of self-trust. It's a different type of confidence than the sun. So the sun represents confidence as well, but it's a confidence that comes from really knowing who you are and allowing yourself to be you at your core, at your center, allowing it to shine forward. The energy of Mars, though, is a whole lot more passionate. It is, I would even say, lower chakra. But it's also a whole lot more singular and determined. There can be great things about being singular and determined, not if it makes you rigid, of course, but where it is that we're coming from that authentic place of knowing that our ambition in the sign of Capricorn is sacred. We're going to trust what it is that we want. We're going to back up what we want with action. I will tell you, the forces of the universe are with you now. So this is where we start talking about Uranus, because that is where we have some incredible news on offer. Over the course of Sunday and Monday, first Mercury and then Mars will both reach out in supreme harmony with Uranus. As we navigate forward, Mercury creates more space between Mars and connects in harmony with Neptune at the very end of the week. And so I love this Uranian energy right out of the gate, because this is about the breakthrough. This is about feeling as if life takes a step up, feeling as if you're able to navigate forward and into a future that feels really exciting. Where it is that we're hoping for that sense of a boost, this energy can be very helpful. Now, this can also be energy of the big break. And I say that because Capricorn energy, that is what is so dominant now with Mercury and Mars both. And wherever it is that we are hoping for, whatever we consider our big break to be, wherever it is that we're hoping that we might make advancements, that we might find a sense of traction, whether it is notice, whether it is being more visible, or maybe it's more personal than that. It's clarity on your purpose and what it is that you can do now and who is supporting you now in terms of aligning with it. Not all of us are on the career path, whether it is through retirement or maybe you don't really see your goals in your life that way. This energy will still speak to you and all of us because it has to do with legacy and destiny. Uranus gives flashes of insight, and both in earth signs means that we are empowered to actually do something to move our lives in those positive directions. We are glimpsing now those ambitions that are possibly very quickly coming to fruition. The energy at the end of the week is one of inspiration, imagination, poetry, and music as well. That's what happens when Mercury speaks with Neptune. Because of the type of conversation here that astrologers call a sextile, it's not so much that these moments of intellectual rapture kind of show up, but we are cultivating them, we are creating them in some way. And this can be lovely energy to take whatever insights or breakthroughs or opportunities that might present themselves to us early in the week and have the faith necessary to bring creativity, to bring that extra something special so that we keep nurturing whatever our unique dream is. What I love about this week for you, there's so much here. It is a valuable and meaningful astrological moment. I'm going to say that beautiful configuration of Venus, Jupiter, and Saturn. If it was just Venus and Jupiter, I would say you're about to have a whole lot of fun. You're about to be swept up off your feet, swept up in a moment in at least one area of life. However, because Saturn is there, it tells me that it isn't just a dream, it isn't just a fantasy. It's about understanding what is being demonstrated, what is real. If we're connecting with new people, there may very well be long-term potential. Or if there isn't, we're able to recognize that much sooner as well and make our choices consciously as to what it is that we're really wanting and going for. Again, that could be new people, but that also might be within established relationships as well, or a desire to evolve relationships that we might already be in. Most likely romantic. This is a very embodied energy after all. But of course, this energy can show up in other ways as well in our professional endeavors and alliances there. For all that, though, I do also want to add if it is that you've been waiting to do something that celebrates your unique beauty, whether it is something permanent, like a tattoo or cosmetic procedure, or maybe it is that you just want to try a whole other hairstyle or wardrobe, I gotta say, as we start this week, these are some really good days that you want to tap into. Because with these days and Venus so strongly placed, now she's not in the best sign to be considered strongly placed, but she's got so much support of Jupiter and of Saturn. She has this natural connection playing out with both of these big planets in these supremely harmonious conversations playing out now, this larger configuration. Well, chances are anything new, any experiments that you try, you just might like the outcomes very much. But for all that, this can also be a wonderful time to be with love, however you understand that. Universal love is a part of this, meditating on love and how more people can experience that in the world, in your own sphere, in your own community, in your own families, and where it is that you can bring more love into your lived experience so that love becomes something real, something embodied. That is when love, grounded, shows up in so much more of what we do. And it creates a powerful momentum that's based on what actually has been, which is showing us how much more wonderful there has yet to be. Well, thank you so much for watching. What do you love about this week? Let me know in the comments below. I love reading you guys. And to prove it to you, here's some of my most recent favorite comments. Thank you to everybody who likes, who comments, who subscribes, who shares, who thumbs up. All of it means so much. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you. And of course, if you want to know how all this wonderful stuff this week speaks to you in your sign, log on to NadiyaShahSuperstars.com, where you get expanded, exclusive video scopes each and every week for as low as just $3 a month with choose your membership rate. Higher tiers get you things like all access passes to Synchronicity University events, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. Links are in the description below. Synchronicity University has an incredible March 2024 coming up. Boy, we have 4 classes. We are jam-packed with incredible astrological learning, and you've got about a month left to choose your tuition rate. As low as just $5 a class with our world-famous Choose Your Tuition Rate, and it is on right now. All links are in the description below. I'm going to start with my own class, actually, and I am coming back to Synchronicity University with a 5-week course after being away for 2 years. It'll be fully 2 years. And so I'm really looking forward to this. I feel like I've grown that much more, and I'm going to be talking about outer planet transits. These are huge. They bring people to astrology. And these are transits that bring a sense of either change, a sense of fate, or maybe even pain as well. But it's how we interpret it and what we do with it that matters. I will not shy away from the fact that sometimes life can be challenging, and that's where the pain comes in. Sometimes life can feel exhilarating. That's when we feel like we are at the forefront of change. And sometimes it can feel very fated, as if it doesn't matter whether it's challenging or not. It just is, and we have to walk this journey. Regardless of what type of outer planet transit is visiting you, we are going to look at Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. I am going to have brand new mythologies to share that I have never shared before on my videos or in my classes. We're going to be looking at brand new celebrity charts as well. And so I really did want to do that because there are some favorites that I have. But yeah, we're going to take that astrological knowledge and actually apply it to charts that you've never seen me talk about before. If you've taken classes with me before, whether at Synchronicity University or somewhere else. And so brand new material, very exciting. Outer planet transits, times of change, fate, or pain. Understanding it is a huge step forward in using it to your advantage and using it towards your journey towards greater love and greater wisdom. We're going to look at all of that at synchronicityuniversity.com. Links are in the description below. Synchronicity University presents the one and only Zamboni Funk. I love Zamboni and his astrology. He is brilliant and insightful and positive and engaging. And so now he's bringing an entire 5-week course. And this is about how to actually use astrology. So yeah, you have some skills and he's going to teach you some new ones as well. But knowledge without application tends to not to amount to too much. And that's where Zamboni's class comes in, because he's going to be helping you to understand how to use astrology effectively, the best timing for different things, what aspects you see coming up, how to approach it, how to use it to your advantage, whether it's career advantage or love advantage. This is the astrology in many ways of timing as well, and he's going to explore that in one of his classes. So this is a class not to miss, regardless of your beginning level of proficiency. As you start this class, you will learn real tools to understand astrology as an art of timing, as a calendar, and how you can tap into it to your advantage. With Zamboni Funk, more info and sign up now. As low as just $5 a class, you've got just a month left to do that at synchronicityuniversity.com. Links are in the description below. Synchronicity University presents Celeste Brooks and her class, Moon Mastery. Boy, I am sure that this is going to be a very popular class. This is a 5-week course all about the moon, how to tap into the power of your moon, understanding it, and honoring it as well. The moon for me speaks to emotional equilibrium and what you need to be at peace with yourself. It speaks to where it is that you feel most comfortable and you feel most at home. And so you might know if you've watched me for a while, I do have a Sag moon. And I was just thinking earlier today, I love hotels. There's something about hotels that I absolutely love. I love having things in my suitcase and it's all organized perfectly and it's, all easy to access and just knowing where everything is and it's compactable and portable. Like these are the things that make me feel at peace when I take them into consideration. Hotels to me are just absolutely magical. Now, if you don't have a Sag moon, if you have a moon, let's say in Cancer, that might feel like the absolute worst thing. I mean, I remember when I went home in December and someone said to me, "Oh, you're home. How does it feel to be back in your own bed?" And I was thinking, I had never even thought about that. Whoa, I'm here like planning my next trip and I'm supposed to, like, it didn't seem as big a deal as this person made it out to be given their chart because we're all different. What we need to feel comfortable, what we need to feel emotionally safe is different for each of us. And that is part of the beauty and diversity of the world. There's diversity that shows up, but there's diversity within us as well. And that's part of a really rich experience of life. Understanding yourself and your needs is a powerful way to tap into astrology, but also understanding how the moon actually is there to help you to grow, to become more emotionally fulfilled, and to find home wherever you are, and so much more. Celeste's class, as I said, it's proving to be popular so far. Lots of people are showing interest in this Moon Mastery class. You can learn a whole lot more and sign up now for as low as just $5 a class. You've got about 4 weeks, a month left to do that at synchronicityuniversity.com. Links are in the description below. Synchronicity University has an incredible March speaker series coming up ahead. I am so excited about this faculty, this cohort that we have now. I think that this is going to be very special. And I'm going to start with the fact that we have big dog astrologer Maurice Fernandez coming to Synchronicity University. Yes, look, there's nowhere else on the planet that you are going to learn from Maurice Fernandez for just $5 a class. And so Maurice is one of the most preeminent leading evolutionary astrologers in the world. He's authored books, so many articles, and he is an award-winning astrologer as well. In fact, I saw him win an award. I won an award that same day also. It was very special. But yeah, he won an award at that time as well, and I know he's won others. So yeah, that's how recognized he is. That's how good he is. And his class is going to be all about the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. That's it, that one class. And he goes to a deep place with it to really help you to understand the core energies and the promise here of change, of breakthrough. In the interview that I did with him, which will be published soon, he spoke of how this was the energy we had when humanity and human beings first landed on the moon. And when we first landed on the moon, it didn't just represent a step forward for science, but it was human consciousness itself that took a huge leap forward. And that is part of the potential of this time in a really real way, considering that this is Taurian energy. Maurice is just so brilliant. When I talk to him, I just sort of have to get out of the way and let him do his thing, let him teach the way he does, because he is so poetic and so brilliant. You'll see that in the interview I've done with him, but I've been interviewing him for so long. I think it was 2009 or 2010. That was the first time I interviewed him at the SOTA conference, which was hosted by the late, great Donna Van Toen, someone very near and dear to my heart. And yeah, that's where I first met Maurice, and to see his career just blossom and grow and him getting all this recognition. And I know he gives me those props as well, and I love him for that. But check out his class, check out his talk on the Jupiter Uranus conjunction, taught as only the one and only renowned astrologer Maurice Fernandez can teach it. Catherine O'Connell is going to help you to look at how dreams are medicine. And it's all about understanding the symbolisms that are showing up in your dreams. They may or may not relate astrologically, but astrology as well is symbolism. And it shows up in the sky and it shows up in our dreams. And so this is a chance to really integrate that inner world and outer world and understand what it is you're really needing to heal and so much more. And she's going to teach that in this wonderful talk. Victoria Al-Muradi. I cannot say enough nice things about this person. I met her for the very first time when I interviewed her a couple days ago, and she's doing children's astrology. She's so fun to talk to. That was first and foremost. And so she talked about she has kids and what she's learned and what you want to look at with children's astrology. So be on the lookout for that conversation we had. But she's going to go in that much more deeper into the topic at Synchronicity University as part of the March speaker series. Now, after our recorded conversation, I remember, I don't know if it was while we were recording or not, but she said she wanted to see the synastry between me and Daddy Yankee, right? And so it happens whenever people connect very strongly to a public figure, we could say, or an online figure, we can say, there usually is some strong synastry stuff playing out there. And so I was like, okay, but then I ended up talking about so much stuff. And my God, is she ever a brilliant astrologer? She is proficient. She is insightful. She gave me a whole other perspective on key relationships in my life as well. And she just radiates so much love and she's got so much knowledge. So I do want to give her a big burst of gratitude for being generous enough to stay with me after our interview for half an hour, just to give me some feedback and advice and perspectives that she brought. I fully endorse those perspectives, and I'm so glad I got to meet her, and I'm so glad she's coming to Synchronicity University, and we all get to learn from her as well. Children's astrology. Leanne McCafferty is going to bring an exploration of the MC and the IC axis. This is a key point of understanding in the chart. The MC is called the midheaven. It's the highest zenith in the sky at the moment of your birth. And the IC is the lowest point in the sky, the foundation of the chart itself. And so she's going to teach an entire class helping us to understand these important symbolisms, what it means, what it might mean if you're getting a transit to one of these, if you have natal placements near one of these, and how important they actually are. An important part of the skeleton of the astrology chart that she's going to be exploring with you. And Fernando Guimaraes is going to teach a very popular prediction technique called solar arc directions. I know lots of people are going to use this class right away. You're going to figure out a way to use it to your advantage, to make yourself that much more proficient at prediction itself, which is actually an important part of our tradition. It's one part of our tradition, but yeah, it is important. And he's going to help you to understand this very powerful predictive tool, how to tap into it, how to move towards these changes, or at least be aware of them as part of your unique evolution of your unique chart. So there's lots to look forward there as well. I've known Nando for years, and I'm so glad he's coming to Synchronicity University. He is Brazilian as well. Now, I knew him way before I first came to Brazil, which was almost a year ago, right? Not quite. I mean, I left in May, right? Very recently, and now I'm back. But Nando, I've known for so many years, and I knew that he was Brazilian, and he was always so gentle and kind and generous and wise and insightful and a brilliant astrologer contributing to the community. But now to get to know him on this whole other level as well, in terms of how he brings proficiency and insight astrologically, which he's going to bring, but then also, yeah, I mean, he is of a place that I love, and that just makes the connection that much stronger. So make sure you check out Fernando's class as well on solar arc directions. March 2024 speaker series. It is coming up very soon. As we begin this week, you've got about a month left to choose your tuition rate, as low as just $5 a class, an unheard of rate, to learn from this caliber of astrologer, only at synchronicityuniversity.com. Links are in the description below. And thank you. Thank you so much for this moment with you. Thank you for your trust. I'm so grateful for it. So I've been publishing more of these shorter videos that give you these quick horoscopes, looking at particular aspects. How do you like them? What do you think? Thank you for all of you watching them, who are sharing them and providing comments and positive feedback there, because that just helps and encourages that much more videos, really, is what it comes down to. If you guys like it, I'll do more of it. And so thank you for your love and support of that. But if you haven't checked it out, please do. And let me know in the comments in those videos, but if you want here as well, what it is that you think. And I'm pretty sure you noticed, I'm pretty sure I mentioned I am back in Rio de Janeiro. And yes, if you're here, let me know. It would be wonderful to meet for a hug, for ice cream or something. I love this city. It is so vibrant. It is so alive, and it makes me feel that much more alive as well. And incredible community, incredible friendships that are changing me for the better each and every day. And I think that that's showing up in my videos as well, but you can let me know. I'm hoping that we continue to evolve together, grow together for another year. I am going to close by saying, as this is publishing, chances are I'm out dancing because it's my birthday. And how good it is to celebrate with people who genuinely love you and want to just be there to celebrate with you. And how grateful I am to have this moment of being able to share something within myself that you find value in, that you see as some part of your sacred journey. All of it means so much to me. And that really is the greatest birthday gift that I could ask for. Absolutely. So thank you. Thank you again for watching. It'll be a great week. Enjoy.